AI. And now to the sad news of the day. The saddest news of the day. It's the one news that I was not expected. It came out of nowhere. It was a massive shock to me when the tweet got put out by Bill Gates and Melinda Gates, where they announced that they will be ending their nuptials, that they will be ending their marriage after 27 years. They said, and I quote, where is it? Yeah, they said, and I quote, they're going to continue their work towards their foundation, but they no longer believe that they can grow together as a couple in the next phase of their lives. So, I mean, this came out of nowhere. It came out of nowhere. Like, these are Bill and Melinda Gates. Like, as a matter of fact, let me just put into concept just how massive they are and how big of a deal this is in the world of just philanthropy, especially. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation was founded in 2000, and according to some accounts, it is the largest private foundation in the world with more than $51 billion in assets. The foundation is dedicated to addressing global health care issues, improving early childhood education, and lifting people out of hunger and poverty. It poured in over $1 billion to help the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. I mean, it just, when I saw this news, I'm not gonna lie, like, it came out of nowhere and I was in shock. I was in major, extreme shock when I saw this news. I was like, what? Like, where? Like, how? Why? How does this come out of nowhere? Like, it was just like, what is going on? But then I started recounting a few things. In the last 2 years, we've seen a few billionaires go through divorces. We've seen Jeff Bezos go through a divorce. Now we're seeing Bill Gates go through a divorce. I mean, on a smaller scale, we saw Kanye and Kim, which, to be honest, I didn't really care that much about them. But, you know, they're going through a divorce as well. And I was just like, these are people that we will classify as successful. These are people that we will classify as good. These are people that we will say that are what we aspire to be like. Like, everybody uplifts billionaires. Like, that's one thing that everybody loves. It's like, oh my God, do you see the greatness that this guy is doing? Or do you see the greatness that guy is doing? But one thing that is becoming apparent and very clear to me is all we see are the pictures. We never know the details before the picture. All we see is the flash. We never know the details behind the picture. All we see is them at different events. All we see is them doing all this community stuff. All we see is all of this other stuff, but we never know the details of what's going on in the background. And one thing I'm starting to realize, I started going back through and I looked at Elon Musk, for example. Elon Musk has been married 3 times. And I think now he's not married, but he's in a, what they call it, a state type relationship, whatever. He's living with somebody else, but they're married, but they're not really married. Jeff Bezos is divorced. I keep going back. I look at the history of a lot of people, and you see like these people that will commend and say, these are great businessmen. And these people did so much for society. But something that I keep going back to is just like, they did so much for society, but in their homes, what happened? And this is not like, I'm not trying to throw shade. I'm not trying to do any of that stuff. But I just started to ask myself is, what is it all worth? Because one thing that everybody keeps talking about in this whole story is the money. Oh, how's the money going to split up? How are they going to do the whole money? I could care less about the money. I care more about the people, because I'm pretty sure neither one of them ever saw that this day was going to come to pass. So there's a lot of hurt. There's a lot of pain. I mean, I've broken up with 2 people in my life. I've dated 2 people in my life, broken up with 2 people, and both times it has hurt extremely bad. Extremely bad. Now, a lot of it was on me. It was my fault. I'm not going to trip on that. But regardless, it still hurt. So think about spending 27 years with someone and then having to call it quits because something is just wrong, because something is off in their life, because they just can't seem to mesh, because they just can't seem to grow anymore. So I would implore every one of us, because I know for a lot of people who hear my voice, for a lot of people who watch my YouTube videos or any of this stuff, you guys are aspiring to grow your wealth, to be good, to be great in life. Do not let your ambition force you to sacrifice the things that you deem more important. Do not let your ambition, your pursuit of greatness, to force you to sacrifice the opportunity to have a happy, loving family. Because the greatest thing in this life is to love and to be loved. Is to love and to be loved. It doesn't matter if you solve world hunger, but if you're walking down that road alone, it hurts. It hurts. I keep going back to history and I keep seeing the same things. Some of the greatest people in history were alone. So I will share this to everyone. Do not aspire to be like billionaires just because you see all the money, because the money ain't gonna solve everything. As they say, money don't buy happiness. And as, what's our guy's name? Man, why am I forgetting? I'm forgetting his name. But anyway, like he said, more money, more problems. More money, more problems. There's a bunch of other things that we will never see that these people are going through. So focus on what the most important things are. Do not sacrifice things that you deem to be more important just because of a little bread. It's not that important. It is not that important in the grand scheme of things. It just isn't. So I don't even know what to say, man. Because one of the things, I was bragging to a friend of mine and I told him, like, everybody aspires to be like Elon Musk. I was like, nah, I aspire to be more like Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. And he said, why? I said, these are two dudes that have built businesses and grown their wealth and didn't get a divorce. Their family still loves them. They still hang out with their family all the time. But then this news came out and I was just like, damn. I was not expecting that at all. So I'm just saying, it's great that we can have amazing, great businessmen, but it is never as great to have an amazing, great family. In my opinion. Now, I could be wrong. You can correct me. You can reach out to me on Instagram, reach out to me on Twitter, but that's what I think. I don't think there's anything greater than to be able to go home to somebody that you love, to tell them everything that's on your mind, to be able to share that with somebody else, to be able to just, anytime anything happens, call them up and be like, yo, this just happened. I don't think there's anything greater than that. But that's just my ideal. I'll be praying for the Gates family. They said they're going to continue their work, but just not in their marriage. But I wish everybody who is married, who is aiming to be married, I just pray that you will never, ever go through anything like this. Because even just the little, the little breakups that I've had, I don't call them little because it hurt a lot. It hurt a lot. Like I said, it hurt a lot. Just those little, those relationships that I've had. And I was not married to them. I never stayed with them for 20 plus years. But it still hurt because we shared something and then we had to break those things away. So imagine spending this much time with somebody and then having to dissolve that. That's a part of you. That's a part of you that you're having to separate. But anyway, that's all I got for y'all. I hope y'all learned one, maybe two things out of this entire thing. And if you did, hit that. What am I doing? That's my YouTube outro. If you enjoyed this podcast, share it with at least one person that you like and one person that you hate. And then share it with one person that you feel indifferent towards. And by that point, you'd have shared it with everybody that you know around you. But I'm going to catch y'all up on the next one. Remember, generosity is always greater than greed. God bless each and every single one of y'all. And I'm out. Peace.